Next tool that we have on our toolbar is called Knife Tool. It's really good for adding details on your models. For example, if you're creating something, a breakpoint in your object, or a tree with cuts on it, or rocks, or those kinds of things, it can be a really helpful tool for that. So to activate it, you press K on your keyboard for Knife Tool, and then it gives you this Knife Tool. Now you can left click anywhere on your model, and then it starts adding points, and then you can keep left clicking to add or create custom vertex points like that. Once you're happy with your vertex shape, you can press enter to confirm, and just like that we have the model. So we can maybe select this and then extrude it along normals. So you can see that it gives us like a very beautiful sort of shape if we're creating rocks or creating broken window or parts of cars or anything like that. Let's press Ctrl Z a couple times to undo these, and let's go over some of the controls. So K tool to activate the Knife tool, and then as we're adding this detail, we can use certain shortcuts to make things easier. So if you hold on Shift key, it's going to snap it exactly in the center of the edge that you're hovering over, and then you can left click to start editing, and then you can move across, and again holding down Shift key so that it just snaps there, and then you can left click again. If you want to cancel out of it, you can press escape, and it's not going to add that. Now by default, when you use the Knife tool, so let's press K and you add a cut like that and press enter, you can see that it only adds it on the front side and not on the back side. So if you want to cut through your entire object, then with Knife tool activated, you can press C key to toggle the cut through. And then when you add the cut, it's gonna add it on the both sides like that. And then we can press enter to confirm, but I'm gonna press escape to cancel out of it. Let's activate our Knife tool again. Another thing that you might want to do is enable the angle constraint. For example, if I start here by pressing left mouse button and start moving, I can press A on my keyboard and it's going to enable the angle constraint, and then I can move it between set amount of sort of rotation. So you can see down there, so it lets me sort of only move in certain angles. So that can be helpful in a way. You can also, when you start moving with this tool, instead of pressing A, you can press X, Y, or Z if you want to move it along one of those axes. So in this case like that. So that can be a really helpful thing. So you can sort of cut through your objects, and you can add these to create any form for a freeform shape. One final thing that I'd like to go over, let's make sure to enable these options. And if you look at the bottom status bar, there are these options. So cut through is C key, and then you have angle constraint, which was A. You can hold on Control, that's going to ignore the snapping, so your journal snapping. You can toggle shift to midpoint snap. So all those options are done here. You can also see the distance by pressing S key. So when you're making this, you can press S key and it's going to show you the distance. Now this Knife tool has a very cool use. Let's go ahead and click and hold here to enable the bisect tool, and then A to select everything on our object, and then you simply left click and hold and then drag into an angle where you want to add this cut, and you can see it sort of automatically adds that for you. And then it gives you this controller that you can move around. So for example, I want to sort of have a cut at this edge, and then if I open the bisect controls, you can see it says fill option, so it fills that area, and we can clear the inner. So you can see that it deletes that part of the object, and then this fill option is going to fill it, and we can also cut the outer part of the object like that. So I often use this to create quick rocks. So if we clear say that area, you can see like that. And we can do this really easily and quickly, so just quickly sort of draw a shape like that, and then we can enable that option. Now if you enable these options first at the top, then you don't have to do it every time after completing the action. So for example like that, and we can fill it as well, and we can clear the outer. And let's enable those options up here, and then we can select the object, and then just like that you can see that it adds the cut. Let's go ahead and press Ctrl Z, also fill the object, and now we can just really easily cut that like that. And if we want to adjust it, we can still do that, all sort of fun stuff. And another thing that I often do is that if I want to have same effect with my vertex tool, then I bevel those. So Control Shift and B, and then it lets you do the same thing. So let's go ahead and quickly do it to some of these edges down here like that. And then we do same thing around here. So if you look from away, very easily low poly rocks can be created with this tool. So that's how you can use the Knife tool in Blender.